guys. Welcome to the Masters 2018 Cycle 1 Supplemental Podcast. Just wanted to go over a few things about what we have in store for the Masters programming this cycle and this year, and talk about some things that we learned this season in our first really full year of doing Masters programming. I'm here with Matt.
Yo.
To help me kind of walk you guys through some of the things we want to talk about.
All right, so the first thing we're looking at, Gabe, is who is the Masters blog written for? We get that question all the time.
All the time, yeah. So the biggest question I think I see is the 35 to 39 age group. We get a lot of people asking
Tweeners.
With that new age group. And honestly, I think a lot of those people are able to mostly follow the regular blog in terms of volume and loads and reps and things like that. But the thing that I keep going back to is that looking at this season, we know that the Masters test is significantly different than what we're preparing people for in the with the regular blog. So I think even the 35 to 39s could definitely benefit from following the Masters blog. You could also follow the regular blog. That's the only question mark. So really, if you're able to hit all of the pieces on the regular blog, you're able to recover, and you don't have any days where you're like, I just got to take a complete day off. That would be a good, you could stay there. If you are having any trouble with the volume or you're constantly scaling, look over to the Masters blog.
I personally work with a Masters athlete right now, and one of the biggest things was transitioning from the normal blog to the Masters stuff. And at first, there's a little bit of hesitation, resistance. I don't want to do that. I'm used to this. But I think what you write is appropriate for a Masters athlete. We're so concerned with the recovery and making sure that we can get all from these pieces. And if you're just beating yourself into the ground day in and day out, you're not going to get that from the blog. Who cares if you can do 17 pieces? Check, 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 check. We want to see you can put purpose into each piece. And, with the volume being what it is and the consideration for the test that's at hand, so that's the Masters qualifier and then maybe the CrossFit Games, that's what this is written for. It's the whole purpose behind it.
Right.
So trust the process kind of thing.
And then that's the other question I get is what exactly is this written for? And it's written for the CrossFit Games Masters season. So looking at the tests in the past of what CrossFit is asking of the Masters, this is designed to prepare you for exactly that. So yes, it is written for people who are trying to be competitive in the Masters group, and I think we have a wide range of individuals, some that are in the top, 50 of the online qualifier, and we definitely have some who are just trying to make the online qualifier. But if your aspirations are, doing the Open, doing well in the Open, getting to the online qualifier, potentially getting into the games, this program is for you.
All right, very cool. So, had a chance to observe the CrossFit Games that were out there. You watched a lot of Masters athletes go through a lot of tests. What'd you learn?
Yeah, I learned a lot this season, and the biggest thing I think I learned is that they are now dedicating people to put a little bit more thought into the Masters and the teens season. And before, it was just offering another an extension or some sort of modification, another way to compete. But looking at the new Masters specialty course, and had a chance to review their printout, their handbook that they have for that, and looking at the events from the games, it is clear that they're dedicating people to find the right tests, the right amount of volume in those tests, and make sure that people are able to train and prepare for those tests and not kill themselves. They want people to be healthy and strong and moving well, even in their as they age. And they don't want to just say, okay, like, we think you should do less, but we're going to test you on a bunch of stuff. That being said, they're not holding anything back.
I look at the Masters group, and it goes from this, there's, the fit old dude over there, he can do, toes to bar, or he can do a few muscle-ups strung together, and now all of a sudden it's like, the guy that got second place at the Masters snatch event this year, snatched 293. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a few pounds, right?
Right.
So, I think that the tests are, now indicative of not just some fit old dude, but these are people who are trained, they're not just the old guy in your corner of your gym that does extra pieces. This is as serious as the normal events now. So
absolutely,
you need to have a plan, you need to have a program to get you ready to compete there, because doing class and doing an extra piece used to be okay enough back in the day to get you to the Masters Games events, but not anymore.
Right. And the key on this is being prepared to do as well as possible on each individual piece. Now, they have less pieces that they test at the games, and the online qualifier is definitely not as much as regionals. But if you have one piece that you just don't do very well on, there's no chance for you. So that's where, when I look at putting together the season, the little bit lower volume, and some people complain about that a little bit, but if you can dedicate complete 110% intensity to each piece and do really, really well at everything that you do, you're going to go so much further than if you try to do too much and you're beat up and you can't, put your arms overhead after a week of training or whatever. So,
all right. Well, that being said, what are we looking at for Metcons in this cycle?
Okay, so for cycle 1, Metcons are going to be simple. It's going to be classic CrossFit stuff, nothing crazy. You're going to look at one time per week. You're going to have a benchmark workout, but we're going to make it a little more challenging, or just vary the stimulus, and we're going to make it with dumbbells. So think of any of your classic CrossFit Metcons, the girls or whatever. You're going to be doing probably most of those, but with dumbbells or kettlebells. So we're just going to vary that a little bit. But other than that, it's going to be very simple and straightforward.
It's just preparing for the normal variants we see at the CrossFit Games.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, so the strength now. I know that we had some really good response to the sumo deadlift and all the squatting you guys did last cycle and the cycle before that. So, going forward, we're going to see more of that?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do a similar cycle to the regular blog this time, but we're going to do the sumo deadlift, because I think in general the progression for masters athletes is just going to be a little bit slower and a little bit maybe one step behind as we prepare for the season until at least we get to the open prep. So we're going to give you a chance to really benefit from the sumo deadlift stuff that we did last cycle and put one more 6-week cycle into it so that can carry over. I think it'll give you a good break from the norm in the deadlifts, but it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to have that wider stance, and it's going to improve your ability to pull eventually. We'll put it all back into the normal progression of things. So it just gives you a little bit more time to get comfortable with it, because I know myself, I did the sumo deadlifts, and it wasn't until probably week 5 that I was like, oh, hey, I think this is about what it's supposed to feel like. So and then with the squats, we're going to be squatting 3 times a week, but one of the times is going to be recovery squats. And that's just simple, just body maintenance. Yeah. So it's going to be higher reps, lighter weight. It's going to, the good thing about the 3 times a week squatting that we do in cycle 1 for the regular blog is it gets you a lot stronger, and you're used to, heavy squatting for a bunch of reps, but it definitely wears on your body, and I don't want to beat you guys up too early on in the season so that you're dealing with stuff carrying over through every cycle. So,
all right, very cool. Well, it wouldn't be cycle 1 without some positional work. So it seems that with the Ollie stuff coming back that we see in the regular blog, you're going to see some more of the same in the Masters blog.
Yeah, it's going to be similar. You're going to work on your full snatch and squat cleans from the low hang, and you're going to give yourself the ability to apply everything that you learned about the positions that you did in the complexes last cycle, and you're going to really refine that with the low hang. And then with the power snatch and power cleans, you're going to be pulling from the floor. So you'll get a chance to work on both of those and try to apply them to both lifts. So nothing special, very similar to most of our cycle 1 stuff.
All right, and then everybody's favorite for cycle 1, the bitch work. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of that, not quite as much as the regular blog. You're going to have 3 mandatory days of interval/bitch work. Because you're only going to have 1 mandatory Metcon per week, you're going to have in the interval work, you're going to have some more. You might see some gymnastic stuff, some pull-ups, some chest to bar, some handstand push-ups, or a barbell movement, some
KTB gymnastic variation.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll see that once a week, and then other than that, it'll be straightforward. You're going to do 1 day of the KTB machine.
Very cool.
Template that we have on the blog. So.
All right, last but not least, some accessory work. It wouldn't be cycle 1 again without these certain staples that I blog every single year, and accessory work is one of them. Yeah,
we hammer this point home in the regular blog and on the regular podcast, but it is even more important, this accessory stuff, that you're choosing the right things and that you're putting quality into the accessory work here. for me, this is the stuff that is going to get you out of your slouch positions that you've been spending so much time as a professional at work or whatever in these slouch positions, that this is the type of stuff that's going to have you standing a little bit more upright, connect some of the joints, keep you a little bit healthier. So just really make sure that you're putting quality into these, and don't just go and say, oh yeah, I don't have that much time, I'm not going to warm up for this, I'm just going to do the accessory work. So you're going to have a choice between gymnastics accessory and strength accessory, so choose that accordingly.
Very cool. Anything else in this cycle that they should know what's coming?
Yeah, the key thing that is probably our big thing for our big addition is we're going to do a couch stretch challenge, and just essentially I want you guys to really focus on being in tune with your body, your mobility, and really correct some things that you're probably doing 22 hours of the day that kind of interfere with the 2 hours a day or 90 minutes a day you're in the gym. So we're going to do a couch stretch challenge, and we're going to shoot a video with a proper couch stretch, and I'm going to ask you to progress over each week. So each day you'll do couch stretch, and it'll start with 1 minute per side, and then we're going to add time each week to where by the end you're going to be hopefully comfortable enough to sit and couch stretch 10 minutes per side, not necessarily consecutively, but you're going to spend 10 minutes per side in couch stretch. And I think you guys will be shocked at how far this goes in terms of squatting depth, in terms of overall just feeling, ability
hip
to
health.
Train, hip health, like all that. So we're just going to put that in, and it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just something that we're just going to be forcing you to do, or at least reminding you to do. And so hopefully you guys can take it as an important piece to your overall training ability.
Cool. Anything else?
Nothing else. That's pretty much it. Just really, starting with the basics, really take your time to plan out what you're doing, and don't get ahead of yourselves in cycle 1, and you will benefit from it as the season progresses.
All right, guys. Good luck in cycle 1. We'll see you for cycle 2.
Thank you for watching.